Another morning here in Bali, and in this video I'm going to break down how I did manage to escape the 9 to 5 and work a job that allows me location freedom and to live in places like this. But first I'm going to take you through what a day in the life actually looks like, the realistic version of that, not the one that you always see people portraying online. And then of course at the end of the video I'll break down the things that I believe I did to actually manage to get out of the 9 to 5 and ways that I believe that you could do it as well. So with that in mind, let's get stuck straight into the video. Pretty much every day starts the same, just as you've seen there. Go out, get some morning movement in, and also have a coffee as well. Cannot start the day without the morning caffeine, and like to get in around 3,000 to 4,000 steps, especially whilst over here in Bali. It can be pretty difficult to get your steps in throughout the day, so getting a good portion of them done, of course, before the madness starts, that is a really important part. And then I will get into my first work block here, which is a block of check-ins. Now, check-ins are essentially a part of a client's program where we're going to ask them specific questions throughout that week. So I'll actually just show you here and kind of talk you through exactly what that entails. So I don't know if you can see this, but essentially we're going to ask them important questions that we need the answers to as a coach to give them the best possible service. Now, of course, this is an empty one because I'm not going to show you a client's answers, but it's questions such as, have you had any social events or instances where you've consumed food or alcohol off plan? If you have done, don't know what's just happened there. If you have done, how have you accounted for it? Have you completed your steps? How's your training and performance been? How's your sleep been? Any upcoming socials coming up this week? Any current struggles? And all kinds of different things like that. So this really is the difference between, an in-person PT and an online PT. At the end of the day, I want to know everything about my client's week, everything about their life that they're struggling with, and any area that I can help with. I always like to say to guys, if you're struggling with anything whatsoever, it doesn't even need to be fitness related. Let's speak about it. Let's get a fresh perspective on it. And the amount of times that I've actually learned things from clients and learned different perspectives and outlooks on life from having those honest conversations, it's amazing. And that's one of the things that I love the most about this job, about being a fitness coach. If you genuinely care about the client and you actually ask them those questions and you have honest conversations about your own struggles as well, you build serious relationships with guys who live in completely different areas of the world to yourself, and that's pretty cool. So gonna get stuck into this work block now, and then we will go for the first meal of the day. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense if you've been up since 2:30 watching the World Cup then, mate. But of course, let's set some standards. Let's move forward with intention now. Once that World Cup, from 79 kilos to 61 kilos in an 11-week period is absolutely insane. Massive effect on our hunger hormones and the way that we recover. So the more that we can stay relaxed, the better. Just wrapped up that first work block there, and I feel like there was some super important parts that I just wanted to touch on from some clients. So the main one that I wanted to put some focus into was a client who thought that he could have free calories from liquid. He actually said that an iced latte is that free calories. And he said an iced latte with almond milk as well. So that could be anything from 100 to 200 calories, depending where he gets it from. And of course, how much milk is within that coffee. And liquid calories are often a thing that people overlook so much, and they can literally ruin your deficit if you're not careful. I've had guys who come on board unaware about tracking liquid calories. And when we've actually started tracking them, that could be, fruit juices, milk in coffees, things that you would think are relatively healthy, and they're having around 2,000 calories per week from those things that they don't even realize that they're having. That can tank your deficit. And of course, those calories aren't going to be satiating. They're not going to give you the nutritional value that's going to keep you full and fuel you for your workout. So something to be very cautious of there, and something that I think will give a value to anybody watching. But other than that, some amazing check-ins today. A client called Justin, who is almost 20 kilos down in 11 weeks time. That guy is a machine. He does absolutely everything that I ask of him. Another client called Marcelo, he's only about 3 kilos away from hitting that 10 to 12% body fat range. So some really great results coming through, and this is what it's all about. Nothing fires me up more than seeing the clients flying. So let's get it. Time to go get some food myself, and then we'll come back, let that digest, and then we'll be heading to the gym. Just as you have seen from the video recording, managed to get in most of the movements that I needed to, but the gym was actually much busier than it normally is. We've been going to that one for the reason that it is one of the only quiet gyms in the Canggu area in Bali. But today I didn't get that luxury, but it's no problem. It was a good session regardless. So just come back, of course, had a shower, had a little bit of a refuel, and now I'm going to go into another work block. I'm pretty much going to be sat here at the laptop. It's currently 1:45, and I'm going to be sat here until about 7:30 with just some small breaks between calls and programming, just making sure clients' workouts are up to date, making sure they're fresh, making sure people are progressively overloaded in the areas that they need to, whether that be running, whether that be training, whatever it is that's specific to that client. And then I've got a team call, a call with my head coach, and then a call for client success later as well. So a busy afternoon, getting stuck into a big work block now, and then that will pretty much round out the day. So once we've finished all this work, I'll then get into the segment about why is it good to leave the 9 to 5, the positives, the negatives, and the values that I believe you need to withhold it. So let's get into it. So that wraps up a realistic day in the life of an online fitness coach living here in Bali. And I hope that that just gives you an insight into the fact that it is not all working on the beach and being out and about all day at beach clubs, just like a lot of people like to make out online. The reality of it is, a lot of the time, I'm sat here at this little workspace in the bedroom of the apartment, getting to work on the laptop, and of course, changing people's lives in the process. But that is the most important thing for me, the changing the people's lives in the process. What I've realised and what I've noticed, and this is just my opinion and my own observation whilst being out here in Bali, is that nowadays people are willing to do some pretty wild things to actually work online and to be able to grow on social media, for example. And I think that those things are simply just going to end up with you burning out and with you being completely out of alignment, not just with your work, but also eventually with yourself as well. I know that I mentioned if escaping the 9 to 5 is worth it, is it everything that people make it out to be? And I would say that it absolutely 100% is. If you are doing it with something that is truly aligned with you as an individual, like for me, I am highly, highly passionate about coaching, about helping people change their lives, about bringing people out of spots that they do not feel happy in. But out here in Bali, listening to some conversations, speaking to people, you realise people are willing to do some crazy things, and ultimately those people aren't happy in the process, and they think and they like to put out onto socials like they're living this dream life, but a lot of the time that really is not the case. And I think that that spills over again into the comparison thing that comes along with social media. And I'm not some online guru here saying this is what you need to do to escape the 9 to 5, and this is what you need, and this is this, and this is that. It's just simple in my opinion, and I believe the values and the morals that actually allowed me to get out of a job that I hated and transition into a career online is never ever sacrificing my integrity for profit, for followers, for likes or clicks. Everything that I upload will always be me and truly me. And another thing is valuing the impact that I have on other people over money, over followers, and over clicks again. I upload to social media and I do this job because I want to impact as many lives as possible. And I want to build something that's ultimately bigger than myself. I don't want to live a self serving life. I want to live a life of impact and a life where I can look back in my older years and think, wow, I actually changed, influenced, and had a positive impact on the people that I worked with. And that's what makes it all worth it for me. It's not about being able to travel. It's not about the money. It's not about anything like that. Of course, that's a huge benefit. I'm not going to pretend it's not. But ultimately, what this all comes down to is the fact that the reason why I believe that I've managed to get out of the kind of normal rat race and live this life is because I do it for the right reasons. And I think that that is most definitely something that is getting lost nowadays. Anybody who's in shape wants to be an online coach, even though they don't care about the clients and they're just looking for a quick cash grab. And it just is what it is. And you can't blame people because what they get to see online and what they get sold is this dream life. But what I would say is always just stick with your morals, man. Always just be yourself and always do things from a place that actually align with you. And when you do that, I truly believe that it doesn't matter whether you're working online, whether you're in the 9 to 5 or whatever you do. Because if you're doing something from a place of genuine care for yourself and for others, then you're always going to end up winning in the long run. So that ends that rant. This ends this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, I'm no online guru. This is simply just my opinion on the values and the morals that I believe will allow you to leave the 9 to 5 and live a fulfilling life. And of course, we're still all on the journey to that together anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do like, subscribe, whatever it is you want to do. And I'll see you in the next.